Listen, there's going to be a lot of people who respond to this review and reviews like it by saying, well, you're just a hater. You're just mad that Chris Stuckmann is getting to do what you'll never get to do.
A few moments later.
I would absolutely attach Chris Stuckmann to direct another horror movie, based on the potential I saw in Shelby Oaks. And I bet Mike Flanagan still would too. You're all just jealous. Can't say I didn't warn you. Let's discuss.
I watch so you don't have to.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am able to do half of what I do here on a week-to-week basis, put quite simply because the internet has become far too predictable. I know what's going to happen before it happens. I know what people are going to say before they say it. And I know how certain people are going to respond to certain things because they have been programmed to think that way by their time on social media.
Man, I'm tired of being right.
Anytime there is a certain level of valid criticism being thrown at something, there will always be someone or a group of people who will make excuses and try to deflect. Excuses that usually involve trying to discredit the very people who are thinking for themselves and speaking their truth. People are criticizing Shelby Oaks not because they just have a different taste in what they look for in their entertainment. No, we criticize Chris Stuckmann obviously because we're jealous. That's the answer that helps these people sleep at night. I have no issue, as I said in my review, with someone pursuing their dream. I have even less of an issue with Chris Stuckmann in particular continuing to pursue his dream. What I do have an issue with is the bullshit online narratives that are spun anytime anyone dares to be critical.
Something very familiar about all this.
And I still say that all of this toxic positivity nonsense was fueled by Chris Stuckmann's more recent stance on negative reviews. When he put out that video, we watched people weaponize his words, even if he didn't intend for them to be used in that way. But what these people did was place Chris Stuckmann on a pedestal and make him out to be somehow morally superior because he wouldn't talk bad about a shitty movie, effectively turning anyone who did talk bad about said shitty movie into a target. A target for the toxic positivity crowd on social media who tend to be allergic to criticism. And now, to the surprise of absolutely no one, this same narrative is popping up once again in regards to Chris Stuckmann's own movie.
Coincidence? I think not!
This notion that anyone who has a bad thing to say about Shelby Oaks is only doing so because they are jealous, it's predictable, it's short-sighted, and it is toxic. In fact, it's more toxic than any negative review that I've seen for the film so far. And it didn't stop there. We also had accounts like Parlos Clummer here, who said this, quote, "If anyone has aspirations to become a filmmaker, I invite you to not shit on a film like Shelby Oaks just because it's the new thing that gets you hundreds of likes. I'd like to see that same level of vitriol for major studios that congest the industry to the point of asphyxiation. Well, if you want to see someone who keeps the same energy, whether it's towards Chris Stuckmann or a major Hollywood studio, then you've come to the right place. Our goal around here is to make the world of cinema a better place through healthy discussion and criticism. And no one is above criticism regardless of the path that they took to get where they are. To me, the only way for people to learn and get better is to tell them what they might have done wrong. This idea that aspiring filmmakers should not criticize Shelby Oaks is complete bullshit. Because if by the grace of God someday I was given the opportunity to create something, especially a film, I would want people's honest opinion on that film when it was completed, because to me that's how you become a better filmmaker. You do not become a better filmmaker by hiding from criticism. That makes you a coward.
It's true.
I was actually thrilled to see that I wasn't the only person who dared to criticize Shelby Oaks, because the man, the myth, the legend himself, Jeremy Jahns, did so as well, in a respectful and entertaining way, like he always does. And even with all of his success on this platform, he was not safe from the wrath of the soft-hearted and simple-minded. Or we have Bus here, who said, "Seeing Jeremy Jahns on my timeline is a jump scare. Not surprised that the most watched YouTube movie critic is shitting on someone that's actually accomplished success in their field." Why do people take film criticism so personally? Especially when they have absolutely nothing to do with the film itself? Are you that sensitive to different perspectives that you have to resort to labeling people that you do not agree with? Listen, if Jeremy Jahns is considered a washed movie critic, then I would love to be considered washed someday. The guy has been consistently one of the best and most relatable critics on this platform year in and year out. My guess is that he said something along the way prior to his Shelby Oaks review that made this person get in their feelings. And now you want to try to paint him and his review as anything other than constructive criticism just to make yourself feel better.
S-O-F capital T. Soft. Huh?
Chris Stuckmann no doubt accomplished something by making a movie, but that does not make him immune to criticism. And then we have NoX Beats, who said this: women love Shelby Oaks, but the angry, miserable, middle-aged movie dudes on YouTube are hating, crying, oh my god, he got to do something I will never have the courage to do, so let me tear him down. Shouts out to Christ Stuckmann, Jeremy Jahns, you a bitch, man thought you was a real one.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
So the guy with an already massive platform who is not singing this film's praises is not a real one. But the countless channels that are very obviously shilling for this movie, they are the real ones. Is that right? I don't know about anybody else, but I've seen a lot of Jeremy Jahns reviews, and if there's one thing that I can confidently say about him, it's that he never once came off to me as someone who was miserable. Quite the opposite, actually. But this is what people who can't handle criticism do. They try to paint the person who is criticizing something as if something is wrong with them. Newsflash, most of the people who review films are not as emotionally invested in the discourse around this film as you are. We're talking about the chronically online individuals who have very clearly lost touch with reality. The only people crying in this scenario that I've seen so far are the people who take negative reviews of this film personally. You expose your insecurities every single time when you go on the defensive, start attacking and projecting.
You can act like a man! What's the matter with you?
It's almost mind-boggling just how soft the movie review, movie discussion community has become. It's almost as if comic book movie fans and horror fans are fighting to see who can be more accepting of mediocrity or worse. You see, for me personally, as a movie reviewer, I feel like I reserve my praise for things that actually deserve it. If I came on here week after week and praised everything that I watched, how on earth would anyone take my opinion seriously? Same thing if I came on here and just trashed everything that I watched as well. To me, the best reviewers are the ones who show balance without even trying to, because that's the most realistic way of reacting to entertainment. To me, you can always tell when someone is being genuine and when someone is just telling people what they want to hear, and unfortunately, there is a lot of the latter on this platform. We need to be thankful of movie reviewers like Jeremy Jahns, who do not follow narratives or trends, and just speak freely about whatever it is that interests them or even bothers them. Criticizing Shelby Oaks does not make you a bad person. And to be clear, liking Shelby Oaks doesn't make you a bad person either. But when you start attacking people who are not validating you or Chris Stuckmann, that is a line that simply should not be crossed.
Y'all be cool. Shut up.